love a bit of comedy. Intentionally making a large audience laugh their collective bums off is no easy feat. From stand-up to good old-fashioned slapstick, we've often held our jokers in high regard. And then along came the current year, when mainstream comics began holding themselves in high regard and began to get, for lack of a better word, preachy. As shown in Maya Rudolph's new video, in which she gathers a bunch of her colleagues to deliver a message on gender equality in the US. Because who doesn't like a group of rich Hollywood types telling us proles that life just isn't fair?
Hi.
Hiya!
I'm Maya Rudolph.
And I'm Drunken Uncle. You may recognize me from such things as that website that says I'm anti-LGBT, or the face you imagine while masturbating.
Do you love bad news?
Ooh, have we got some bad news? Let's have some bad news.
Then you're going to love my friend, Melinda Gates.
According to the World Economic Forum, it will take us 208 years to achieve gender equality in the United States.
Could be worse, could be 209 years. That's a year longer. And it depends what you mean by equality, doesn't it? If you bring up the whole there are more men in boardrooms than women, then I don't know what to tell you, Melinda Gates. Wife of Bill Gates, the insanely rich founder of the Microsoft Corporation. Must be easy to judge when you're sat in your opulent palace of splendor. Give me some money.
What?
I said, give me some money. Never mind gender equality, I've got to fund my crazy addiction to paying rent. And who the hell are you?
That's the most specific bad news I've ever heard.
Great contribution, John Mulaney, stand-up comedian, writer, and producer with an estimated net worth of $3 million. How many times have you stepped aside to let a poor little woman write for Saturday Night Live instead of you straight white male?
208 years? Over my dead vagina.
A female comic just said vagina. Hilarious. It's like Oscar Wilde. But Sarah Silverman, I've got it on good authority that your vagina is already dead.
That's 1,456 dog years. I'm telling you, bitches never get a break.
No, of course bitches don't get a break. 2 times Emmy Award-winning actress Uzo Aduba, you've got it tough.
I guess that would be my great-great-great-great-great-great-grandchild.
Well, Carol Burnett, host of The Carol Burnett Show, which ran for 11 years out of a career which itself spanned several decades, contributing to your net worth of $25 million, I do hope your great-great-great-great-great-great-great-grandchild has an easier life than you.
And I hope it's a girl.
Whoa, easy there, melty face. Don't you know you can pick your gender nowadays? Yeah, it's like creating a character on Skyrim. Why complain about gender inequality when you can just switch over?
It's Carol Burnett. She's pissed.
Probably pissed herself looking at the state of her. And am I supposed to know who you are, fat Idris Elba?
Sure, yeah, that's bad for humans, but pandas only live about 20 years.
Aw, that's sad. They also have trouble breeding too, so I don't know. It looks like they want to die out, doesn't it?
Why is it that I can order a bag of dick-shaped gummy bears with same-day delivery, but I have to wait 208 years for gender equality?
Have you actually ordered those? Because it saves me telling you to eat a bag of dicks. But again, Sarah Silverman, what equality are you going for that we don't already have? Vagina-shaped gummy bears? I can't find anything under that name, but can I interest you in the off-brand Pussy Patch Sours? Sure to leave a bad taste in your mouth.
That means 26 generations of panda bears will live and die before we finally see a female panda president.
Now, I may be wrong about this, Fred, but didn't a woman run for president in 2016? Surely that was 211 years too early, if anything you morons are saying is true. Or is it that she didn't win? Is that the inequality? That she should be president because she's a woman? Seems fair, doesn't it? Never mind voting, let's base it on genitals.
Women are currently less than 25% of Congress, and that's the highest it's ever been.
And that's not due to the majority of women lacking the desire to do so. No, it's plain sexism. Stupid patriarchy, making women pursue careers in fields they actually enjoy.
Which, you know, is fine because women are about 25% of the population. What's that? It's 50%? That's f***ed up.
Oh, no, yeah, it totally is. Basing your entire Congress on demographics instead of having the people best suited to the job isn't a stupid idea at all. And while we're there, according to US statistics, around 0.4% of Congress should have AIDS.
That's not so bad if you don't think about it.
Well then, maybe don't think about it. I'm just saying, if you're gonna dwell on something, you're more likely to find issues with it and upset yourself, aren't you? As well as come across as a finicky little mongoloid.
Like if you never, ever think about it.
In what world
Does it make sense that I make less money than Fred Armisen?
Who are you? I know who Fred Armisen is. He's a funny guy and is probably in great demand, meaning he will get paid a lot. So who are you?
That guy thinks this video is about pandas.
Yep, and he's smashing it.
You know what? Forget about it. I want to come back as a lesbian's cat.
It's gotta be better than looking like a paintbrush. Do the producers of Sesame Street know their Bert puppet is missing?
Alternatively, we could just haul ass to Canada tonight. I'm serious. My car's outside.
Well, yeah, that is where you keep them, isn't it? Plus, I think you should go to Canada. Though once they work out a truck full of whingy Z-list celebrities are on the way, I wonder how long it'll be until they build a wall.
The pay gap is so bad right now that the average woman's income is less than a Venice Beach mine.
What? Was that a joke? Starting to see why you don't get paid as much as Fred Armisen now, aren't you?
And they're great.
Yeah, mainly because they're completely silent. Damn, I wish you were a mime right now.
They have no walls, but you think they're in a box. Women are in a box of oppression.
That was a very laboured lead-up to what was essentially a lackluster punchline. This is why people say women can't be funny. This is what they're referring to. Man, since Joan Rivers died, the average went way down, didn't it? Who have you got left? Sarah Silverman and an orca.
Do men get paid more than women for the same job? Yes.
Well, in the case of television, film, and indeed comedy, it depends on how talented you are. So in this case, yes, they do, because the shining examples of female comics you have on display are just terrible. Now, don't get me wrong, the men haven't been much better, but that's what happens when you get woke, isn't it? You just suck all the funny out of the room like a fun sponge.
But think about how much work we do. Not only do we have to pitch our own ideas, we also have to pitch our female co-workers' ideas moments after they said them, but a little quieter.
Yeah, men steal women's ideas all the time. That's why we don't have buildings or bridges or space programs and instead sit around braiding each other's hair while discussing our feelings on who won The Bachelor.
And that's why we don't smile more.
Oh, I thought it was because you're a miserable bitch.
Here's a fun fact. In the Fortune 500, there are fewer female CEOs than male CEOs named James.
Ah, I called it, didn't I? Women in the boardroom. I totally called it. Funny how you'd rather screech about it than do something about it, though, isn't it? Go become a CEO instead of pretending people know who you are, random lady. Who'd have thought feminism would turn into complaining about women making their own choices? Weird.
We demand Arias and Andromedas in the boardroom.
Well, off you pop then, princess. I don't know if you're an Aria or an Andromeda because much like most of the celebrities in this video, I haven't got a clue who you are.
Shannon's. Diane's.
Just not Karen's. You don't want one of those in a room full of managers, do you? It'd be a nightmare.
Ask yourself this. In 208 years, how far will manspreading have spread?
Ah, Fred, I really want to give you the benefit of the doubt here because I like you, man, but that was... What was that, Fred? How much are they paying you to be here? Even with flimsy one-liners like that, I still hope it's more than the women. Go back to the pandas.
I don't know, 208 years isn't that long. If you're one of those big turtles that lives forever.
Or trees. They live a long time too. In fact, a redwood can live up to 700 years, which is actually the amount of time it would take for me to find you funny.
I gotta check my notes. Huh, that's weird. Just says this is bullshit on every page.
You pretty much just summed up every one of your comedy specials, Sarah.
208 years is very long.
I mean, what are we doing?
What are you doing? What was that? I mean, it perfectly represented third wave feminism. I would love to have been at that production meeting, you know? So we're making a video on gender equality. Does anyone know what we actually want? No? No one? Just equality. Okay, how are we gonna go about this? A couple of well-known faces, sure. Throw in some numbers about women not choosing to work in certain fields. Okay, a couple of unknown faces. Great. It's missing something. How about wailing at the camera like a banshee going through the menopause? Perfect.
You guys know I have 3 daughters, right? This is actually terrifying.
Why? What's terrifying about it? You have equality. You've actually got so much equality that a lot of stuff sways in your favour. You've got so much equality that you can't even say what you're campaigning for. You just throw a couple of buzzwords in a pot and present it to the public like, see, we're oppressed. What do you want?
It's scary, too. 208 years is scary. I want to live then.
No, I'm sure even then you'll find something to complain about.
So what that's really saying is, not only will I not experience it, no one on this planet that exists right now as a woman will experience it.
Again, what is it? What changes will be made in the next 208 years? What's the point of all of this? If you want more women in Congress, give up the acting and get that job. Don't jump on some needless bandwagon just so people can see your face attached to an unnecessary campaign. This is the current year, you fools, not Game of Thrones times. You have equality.
Back in the covered wagon days when I was doing my show.
You mean the first show of its kind to be hosted by a woman? Oh yeah, very oppressed. And can we get one of those covers now so I don't have to look at your face? You look like a tiger with Down syndrome.
If a woman was forceful, she was a bitch.
Still the case, Carol. No one likes forceful people, you know? They're too forceful.
If a man was forceful, he was forceful.
No, he was an ass. Still the case, Carol.
These qualities that we really applaud in men are looked at in women as being negative things, and that's just sexism at work right there.
So the equality you want is for women to be bitches without being called bitches. Do you know what it's like for women in Saudi Arabia? Now that's something worth getting upset over. Not society's perception of attributes. That's dumb. You're dumb.
I once reported sexual harassment at my place of work.
Shocker!
And I wanted the guy gone, and I was questioned. Are you sure? Are you sure you want that?
Are you sure you want to have this man lose his job over something that probably wasn't sexual assault? It's just your feminist brain making everything about you?
And this whole 208 years thing, it just makes me think, are women gonna have to be asked, are you sure, for another 208 years?
Well, if you're not, then it's just men making decisions for you, isn't it? Can't help but think you wouldn't like that.
And what's so depressing in the here and now is that
you're some of the most privileged people in the most privileged part of the world, yet you still cry oppression?
they're aggressively trying to strip what rights we do have, and it's heavy, you know?
What rights are you losing, Sarah Silverman? What rights do men have that you don't? And if you say abortion, I will kick off. Killing unborn babies isn't a right. It's a luxury.
Here's the good news. We can change this together.
I guarantee men's lives will be better if women's lives are better too.
Aha! Here we go! We want equality, and we need men to help us because we can't do anything for ourselves.
Let's get equality done faster, like in our lifetime.
Okay, let's do it. Starting with you telling us what you want instead of saying the word equality over and over.
We can do this.
Share your experience no matter what gender or sexuality you are.
Oh yeah, that's a big leap in the right direction, isn't it? Get together and whinge.
And let us not forget the panda bears.
Yes, it feels good to share cat and panda videos, but wouldn't it also feel good to change the world?
What change? Why can't you come up with specifics? Could it be that women are already equal to men in the West? No, it couldn't be. Else there wouldn't be so many television personalities pretending they care about something other than their image.
208 years is no joke.
Yeah, she should know. She's lived it.
I invite you to have one conversation this week about gender inequality. At home, with a friend, at work.
Okay, at home. Well, I live alone, so no dice, home slice. With a friend? No, I'd rather like to keep them as a friend, thank you. And at work. I'm afraid I'll be too busy doing the job I'm paid to do instead of talking about gender equality and how we already have it.
Get talking so we can change this.
There's that word again. What change do you want, Maya? Just tell us and we'll see what we can do. You want more women in STEM? Well, I'm afraid that's up to the women in question. You want more women in Congress? Again, that's up to them. You want to be paid the same as men? Good news, you are. See, I don't think it'll take 208 years to achieve gender equality. I think it'll take 200 years for these dimwits to realize it's already been achieved. And then a further 8 years to realize, actually, women have it a lot easier than men in many aspects of life. So if we should be equal on anything, it's the rates of suicide. Starting with these guys. Thanks for watching, guys. Please consider becoming a patron because I don't get paid as much as other more successful YouTube channels. And check me out on BitChute where everyone is equally lonely. The links are in the description, and remember, there's only one you in gender equality, but there are 3 in shut the fuck up.